to the show. If you're just joining us, this is now streaming show reaching you live from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria studio here in the capital city of Abuja. And on this edition, we are on the Thursday special edition where we'll talk about the happening story across the globe and we'll now talk about sports stories. And now at this point, we are at the discussions of concerning the world of sports, and it's worthy of note that the WAFCON 2024 has begun, which is the 15th edition of the Women's African Cup of Nations. It's currently on in Morocco, and couple of matches have been played with our own Falcons playing their first match against the Tunisians and defeating them 3-0 to nil. Across many other matches, we have the FIFA Club World Cup where we see the likes of Chelsea and the likes of Chelsea and PSG currently in the final of the FIFA World Cup World Club competition. Viewers, remember you can join the conversation by calling the number shown on your screen or equally sending in your comment via a various social media handle. And today we have a guest in the studio to discuss the sports stories with us this morning. We have Mr. Rafael Ojaokomo, who is a sports commentator. We also have Mr. Nemeka, who is a professional football coach. And we have virtually all the way from Delta State, Comrade Abraham Soko, who is a sports analyst. Before we continue, let's take a look at the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. And the lift story says lift off. That's on page 2. And the kicker said Falcons target early quarterfinals ticket against Mars, and Botswana seeks to revive campaign. That's on page 2 of the Punch Sports Extra. All right. Above the masthead, we have the story on Napoli intensify Lukman chase, and that's on page 6. Page 2 has the story on Bandana Brace fires Zambia past Senegal, and Tunisia, Algeria clash in North African affair. That's on page 2. Those are stories related to the CAF Women's African Cup of Nations. And page 2 also has a story on Nadozier's backs debutants to shine. All right, then page 6 have the story on Gala to pay Osimhen 14 million euros, and page 6 also has the story on Onyekuru in no rush to join new club. All right, cutting across so many other stories, we have the bottom strip story says Nathaniel's record season ends Bowerman final spots, and that's on page 7. Page 6 has a story on Eagles B players admit pressure for chance sports. All right, and page 5 has the story on Blues demand 55 million euros for Madueke, and then we have the story on Carlos Ancelotti's sentence for tax fraud. That's on page 8 of the Point Sports Extra. But before we start the discussing most of these foreign stories, I'd like us to look deeply into Morocco's 2024 WAFCON that's holding in Morocco right now, and it's the 15th edition of the Women African Cup of Nations. And we have countries like our own country, Nigeria, Tunisia, Botswana, and many others competing for the trophy of for the 15th edition. Especially our country, the Super Falcons, are aiming at getting their 10th trophy as African women champions. Viewers, remember you can call on the number shown on your screen or equally send in your comment. Let's get your view concerning the performances of the teams the 15th edition of the African Women's Football Tournament organized by the Confederation of African Football. Raf, let's have your review.
Thus far, the tournament has been a good one. Have we seen any surprises? Nope. It's just it's still same old. Although the home team, Morocco, couldn't get past the Copper Queens of Zambia. They played a 2-2 draw. And we saw a Senegal team defeating DRC Congo by 4-0. That same team was defeated by Zambia by 3-2 with the help of Barbara Banda and Kondananji, one of the two most expensive female footballers in the world. I wonder how that happens.
Mm.
But they are the two, Banda and Kondananji are the two most expensive female footballers in the world. Then you have the Nigerian contingent playing against um, what's it called?
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Tunisia, defeating Tunisia by 3 goals to 0, and they'll be facing the other
Botswana.
team, Botswana, on the
Algeria.
in the group. No, Botswana before Algeria. Algeria will be scoring it up against Tunisia,
Yeah.
and
Good position.
South Africa are defeating the Black Queens of Ghana. Like I said, same old, same old. It's still the same people. The only team that we saw coming out was Senegal. This is their third tournament, and they did well in their first game, only to fall to Zambia, who I think who had one over them due to experience, maybe. So, but the tournament that has been going well thus far. Um, as for Nigeria, it's called Project X. You know, we have won 9 of this trophy, and we're going for the 10th one. And we saw some new stars who have emerged from this tournament. Number one being what's her name again?
Unisola.
Risola. Yeah, she had a goal and an assist. She played really well in the tournament, and also had the tribute to Jota when she was having a celebration. We saw it on the screen some few minutes ago. So it's a tournament that is going well. The officiating is top notch, and we see that VAR is also doing very well. So I give them the host country kudos. It's just that the only thing that's missing from the tournaments are spectators. Where are the spectators coming to watch these young ladies sweat it out on the field of play?
Yeah, most countries, as such countries as this, have a little form of restriction on women participation in sport and what have you.
It doesn't stop people from coming to watch the game. If you are they restricting women from coming to? Well, no, I don't think so. If you by the time you play the male the national team Nations Cup, which will be hosted by Morocco too, you'll still find a lot of women in the stadium. Doesn't stop anybody from coming to the stadium to watch football. After all, we have. If you say you are restricting women from sports, why is your team in the tournament? Why are you hosting the tournament?
No, not that there's a total ban, but there's a level of.
No, I don't think that's the reason. It's just that in Africa we have I don't think we carry these things as they do in the European countries, and even it happened in the Club World Cup. The first game that Chelsea played, how many spectators did you see on the field? Because football is not an American sport. Do you understand me? If it was baseball, for example,
Basketball.
now, or you see basketball, you see American football, that stadium will be filled to brim. Do you understand me? But I believe that when the tournament gets to its knockout stages, we'll begin to see people come out to support these ladies, because it's more encouraging when you see a lot of people. As a matter of fact, even in the WSL, the English and Women League, you find out that a lot of spectators now are coming into the stadium, recognizing the contributions that female football bring to sports on a large scale.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Comrade Abraham Sokol, looking at the current stand of the 2024 African Women's Cup of Nations. We have Group A standing. Group A, we've had 2 matches so far, and after 2 matches, Morocco tops Group A with 4 points, 1 win and 1 draw, followed by Zambia, 4 points, 1 win and 1 draw. And then Group B, where we have our own Super Falcons topping the table with 3 points, 1 game played so far. Algeria also 3 points, 1 game played so far. Group C, we have South Africa topping the group after their beautiful game against Ghana, where they defeated the Black Queens of Ghana 2-0. They are topping the group with 3 points, followed by Mali. Mali is also 3 points on the group. I want to find out from you, what strategies do you think should be implied, most especially to our teams and every other team, to bring out the best from all the participating teams.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. I would want to say that so far, Nigeria, the Super Falcons have done very, very well. I watched the highlights of that particular game, and it was almost one-sided. we were already leading 4 minutes into the game. A very wonderful goal from by Oshola. And as Mr. Rafi rightly said, our star player in that particular game, as you can see on the screen, Babajide, she got 1 assist and 1 very well taken goal. So far we have started on the right note, and I think that the major competition we have in this particular tournament is South Africa, and they actually won their match. I think, as you said, they won Ghana 2-0. So I think that's our major rival in this particular competition. So generally, it has been a very, very good competition. There have not been shockers so far. It has been really, really conventional, really, really routine for some of these big names participating in this tournament. I also want to support what Mr. Ebuka said. I feel that the fact that Morocco is not a secular country, I think is probably, I don't think that's the only factor, but it's probably affected participation in terms of participation in the tournament. Because no matter how you look at it, some of these, they have their own restrictions because of Islam being a state religion and all that. So the freedom in which, for instance, a secular country like Nigeria would go and support some of these teams is going to actually affect some of these Islamic nations. You see the cases in Saudi Arabia. You see that some of these boxing tournaments, you see it just dominated by men. And if women have to go and watch some of these games, they have to leave some of this participation. You understand? For instance, in Saudi Arabia, a man and woman is not, an unmarried man and woman is not allowed to live together. They have to live, make Ronaldo an exception in Saudi Arabia.
Why?
So I believe that.
Why? Why did they allow that?
So I believe that the fact that some of these countries are not secular is actually affecting participation. Also, another thing that I have also discovered is that the truth is that the standard of football, you cannot compare the quality between I think the difference between the male and the female teams. I think that there's a huge quality gap. You understand? We were talking last week about the under-21, where you still see there's not a lot of differences in quality. But if you watch this women football, I think that there's a gulf in quality between the male teams and the female team. And I feel that the women should focus more on improving the quality, the gulf in this quality, rather than talking about quality, salary disparity at this point. So I think that debate on salary disparity should please cease, and they should focus on improving the quality of and the standard of women's football generally. Thank you, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko. We look for a time where there are no disparitions and everybody is given equal playground.
You can't get. I don't think you heard him very well. You can't get. I don't think you're following this tournament. If you follow the tournament, there are some. Yes, I want to kudos to the girls for their effort that they put on, but you could tell that there's still some gap. Do you understand me? As I'm speaking to you, even in the WSL, is it WSL in the English and Women League? It took a while before people even started acknowledging the fact that women are playing football. Do you understand? To even say they want to come and attend. That's why I said it's not even about maybe because Morocco is an Islamic state. No. For people that not be women, they play football. Maybe when you start getting to the knockout stages, that's when people come out. Do you understand me? But then you watch the quality of football being played. There was a goal that a Zambian lady missed, and I was like, hey. And there's sometimes you expect some passes to be made, and the number of times the lady will count leg and count leg and count leg. Some men go don't use their back player before they even think or before the ball even. He's a coach, and even when I played in school, then they'll tell you before the ball comes, you already know what you want to do with the ball.
True.
But you find that a lot of them are making decisions on the spot when the ball. In fact, there was a coach, I think it was Senegalese coach or which team. we could hear him from the sideline shouting, "Release the ball! Release the ball! Release the ball!"
Yeah, but Rafa, let's consider. The Bible says that the women are the weaker.
Come on, stop it there. I don't think you want them. You want
vessel.
No,
let's not put that comparison between the male football and the female football.
If you ask for equal pay, you need to up your game to match that standard, because they're asking for equal pay on all grounds, even in tennis, in basketball, and what have you. Do you understand me? We're not saying, see, going from when I started watching the AFCON, the women AFCON in '98 to date, it has gone. The gap is so wide. The improvements, before we should have just Nigeria, Ghana, maybe South Africa, but now you see a lot of country coming up. Then Nigeria played Morocco in our first game, defeated Morocco or Tunisia there about 8-0. The second game was 6-0. The third game was 6-0. You are playing one team, you are scoring 12. But now you're playing and you're even struggling to score one. That's to tell you how intense. And it got to a point where Equatorial Guinea lifted the trophy twice. It was all Nigeria until Equatorial Guinea came and lifted the trophy twice. It took South Africa to sweat blood before they could even lift the last one. Do you understand me? And now Morocco is out again as one of the top teams, also with Zambia. So we cannot take away the fact that female football have improved over time, but same way the football for the men is also improving. So if you're asking for equal right, you need to match or close that gap. Do you understand me? So that it should be, what's that word, marketable. Maybe that's why a lot of people are not coming into the stadium. Arsenal Football Club has the highest, registers the highest number of spectators whenever they're playing. Even though they have the fee for the tickets is higher. But when the Arsenal ladies are playing, they record the highest number. In fact, the first time they recorded a very good number, it was put on like history has been made. Do you understand? So people are beginning to come to understand that female football is improving, is going somewhere. But then again, that will take a lot of time. Do you understand me? But then, money should not always be everything.
All right, thank you. So, Nemeka, you are a coach. Considering the improvements that have been made over the years in women sports in Africa, and having in consideration this year's edition, which is the 15th edition of the CAF African Women's Cup of Nations, what loopholes are you've seen so far in the matches, and what are the target points to help make our women's football competition more lucrative compared to that of the men?
Okay, so there are a lot of things that have to be in place. Firstly, you need to get good coaches that have impeccable records, that are highly qualified and can do the job, and not just about having impeccable coaches that can do the job, but the conditions, are they right for them? Because when you have right conditions, you can you can perform your duties to the utmost level. I think the other day, I'm not sure, I just glanced through the story, but I heard South Africa were having wage issues. In Nigeria is a normal ground, and so when all these things are not in place, you actually do not expect quality work to be done. And then even in terms of marketing, the other day I was watching a video. The face of women football is Alicia Lehmann. She used to play for Aston Villa. I think she's still there.
She's with Juventus now.
Yeah, okay, she's Juventus. She has 20-something million followers on Instagram. Then if you go to the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, the difference is clear. The job matter is that they actually need to up their game. They've improved from the first AFCON to now. There has been improvement, but they still need to show a whole lot more courage to try to get to the level of men. It may look impossible at this point in time, but they have to do something. That's what I can say.
Right. Where I would support them to not just only get equal pay, but get higher pay than the men, is in our track and field. Because anytime we go for any tournament we go for African Games, Commonwealth Games, Olympics, you find out that it's the women that are coming up with medals.
Medals, yeah.
The men just go there to participate. So I think if we're asking for equal pay, this one is not even equal. They should give them, in fact, they should give them that of the men and the women.
But most times in most competition, women, the Falcons do better than the Super Eagles in
yes,
some
they
competitions.
The
do
level of
better.
competition. Because the level of competition they have, sorry.
Do you understand? Yeah, no, we're talking about you going now to an international stage, representing your nation. If what on the long run, now the women they help us for this country pass, because when they go for tournaments, they are the ones that come out with good results. You understand me? Good results in all sports, even in basketball.
All right, thank you. So moving away from the AFCON, there is still so much heat currently ongoing in the United States, where we have the current first edition of the FIFA Club World Cup, and we saw the likes of Chelsea and PSG now finding their way to the top as the finalists for the first edition. I want to get a quick review of the FIFA Club World Cup. And once again, I want to congratulate Comrade Ibrahim Soko for having his team find their way to the final of the FIFA first edition of the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, I want to get your review, and I also want to warn you ahead that Paris Saint-Germain are not here to joke. If you look at their track record since I think they've lost just one match in all of the matches, all of the futures they have played in the FIFA Club World Cup. So let's get your quick review, Comrade Ibrahim Soko.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Mr. Ebuka. So I want to start by starting with my team, Chelsea Football Club. I would want to say that personally, I did not really expect them to get to this stage, to get to the finals, because they had consistency issue. After winning the first match, they had a little bit of a wobbly performance against Flamengo, and after that, they improved remarkably. And when I knew that Chelsea did not come to play was when we played Benfica. I really did not expect anything much from that match, but Chelsea was able to actually emerge victorious from that match, and that was when I knew that Chelsea was actually ready. We are actually ready for business after that particular match. So the other matches did not really come as a surprise for me. And to be honest, we also had weaker oppositions, the teams that we played, because the teams that were supposed to be in our I think our trajectory, we actually knocked out. The likes of Man City was shockingly knocked out by our Al. So it has been a very good FIFA World Club Cup, and I look forward to the finals. As for PSG, their route to the final has been tougher, but they have been able to decimate their opposing the teams that they have met, their opposition teams. I think, as I said, it was tougher. They played Atletico. They gave Atletico 4-0. They gave Inter 4-0. They won Bayern Munich 2-0. The only the only roadblock they had was against that Brazilian team, I think Botafogo. That was when they lost they lost by a goal to nil. So PSG has been really, really ruthless. They have been really, really remarkable. When I was watching their game against Real Madrid yesterday, in which they won by the same scoreline that we are seeing on the screen, I was like, okay, Chelsea should not bother to look up for the final, because this team is really, really ruthless at this stage, at this point in time. Personally, I don't see the miracle that will make Chelsea win that final, except the God of football is on our side, which I hope it will be. So PSG has really, really remarkable, and I think this tournament has actually helped to market Moussa Dembele in his running for the Ballon d'Or also, because he has been spectacular in the few games he has played. So we know that he's recovering from a muscle injury, but the few games he has played, he has been really, really spectacular. So it has been a very, very wonderful tournament. We look forward to the final on Sunday, which I see Chelsea winning that particular game. So I'm going to give the tournament to Chelsea just as a fan. But based on the data, based on current form, based on everything, I think that Chelsea will be demolished on Sunday. So it's a two-way thing. As a fan, Chelsea, but as a football analyst, Chelsea will be demolished. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abraham Soko. Mr. Nemeka, you've watched a couple of some of these matches from the FIFA Club World Cup, and just like Comrade Abraham said, based on his statistics, that he feels PSG is doing very well. What other teams that probably didn't get to this point, teams like Bayern Munich, teams like Real Madrid, and what have you, what probably went wrong?
They faced PSG.
Okay, what went wrong was that they faced
PSG. You called Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. They faced PSG and PSG totally annihilated them. So there are a lot of issues why teams may not progress deeper into competitions, and that maybe the tactics on the day didn't just work out well. And like I said, they face PSG. PSG at this point is a team that is actually annihilating teams that they meet. They dominate you from start to finish, and they flog you like they're flogging their small children. The only, in fact, in the last how many matches, they've only considered literally just one goal against Botafogo. And they lost that match. If you check it, they've been beating people 4-0, 4-0, 2-0. Clean sheets left, right, and center. It's going to be a battle for Chelsea. It's not going to be easy for Chelsea. I promise Chelsea that. But let me say that I'm actually a Chelsea fan too, but I'm scared for them. I'm scared for them. They're really proving that they are the kings of Europe, and they're out of the world. And by winning this now, they'll show that they're the kings of the world. They're actually out to, I think their project from going from aging superstars to finding new blood that are hungry to win success is a very, very good strategy for them. It's really working well. Because the superstar Kylian Mbappe left them just last season to join Real Madrid, and they won the Champions League without him. And now they face themselves yesterday in the semi-final, and with him playing, he still couldn't even score. So it shows that they are really astute. Their manager knows what he's doing. The players have keyed into what the manager is doing, and if you look at that team, they're actually very, very young boys. So they have at least next 3, 4, 5 years to actually rule, which is scary in the world of football.
All right, thank you so much, Nemeka. Let's assume you were asked to make picks on whom you wanted to be at the finals of the FIFA Club World Cup. Would you have been Chelsea against PSG?
You know, I would even pick Arsenal self, not even Chelsea. But then again, if you truly looked at the charts, the tables, and the logs, I don't think Chelsea would come to mind. I don't think Chelsea would come to mind when you're deciding who is going to play in the final. But I would want to give it to Chelsea. They've really proved themselves worthy to be where they are. Yes, they might have gone through an easy route. Don't take it away from them. The same Fluminense that Chelsea defeated what's in the one of the European teams, if I'm not mistaken. The same Man City that everybody said that if they had met Man City was defeated by Al Hilal. So you understand me? I don't think it's we should totally take it away from them to say they don't deserve to be there. They deserve to be in that final. But then again, they are playing a team that has gone through fire, that has gone through all the tests, losing first to Botafogo by 1-0, then coming back to beat everybody on the way. And they are just not just beating everybody on the way, they were winning convincingly. Do you understand me? And then you meet a Madrid team and you whitewash. Before, as at 25 minutes, it was 3-0. I'm very sure Luis Enrique must have told them in the dressing room, when you come out, just play normal football, the same way they did to Inter Miami. Maybe they told them somebody said we finally found out Messi's real age when PSG played against Inter Miami, because they were carrying Baba up and down, all those things that are bad, everything died. that final. I like what Comrade Soko said. I like what Nemeka said when they say we are Chelsea fan. But one thing I've always discovered, even though we all have written Chelsea off to say that final is going to be one-way traffic. Although I see it as that at the moment, I will not come and pretend like, no, I'm supporting Chelsea. No. The only way, I don't know what Maresca is going to do, what magic is going to do. Chelsea has done it before, where everybody wrote them off in the Champions League final against Manchester City. And then they came from nowhere, defeated City. And that I blame totally to Guardiola, who overthought and decided to tweak his team and then lost. The Chelsea has done it before. So they're now beating a PSG team that is complete. Nobody's suffering injury. Nobody's suffering fatigue. Even the one that was sick is well. That's Dembele. And you now have them firing from all cylinders. I think, and one thing that Chelsea lacks at the moment, they may have it going for them in attack with Joao Pedro scoring those two beautiful goals. What's his name? Neves playing very well. Palmer also playing. Okonkwo coming to the game. And you have in the midfield. Now we're going to see what would happen in that midfield with Caicedo and Enzo playing against Vitinha. Every time Vitinha has played in the midfield, he has always won that midfield from everybody. Even in Nations League, he did it. Now you're going to have Vitinha and Caicedo squaring up for that midfield. And then the only place where I think Chelsea might be vulnerable, bar Cucurella, take away Cucurella, is the back line. And then, of course, Sanchez. Mind you, Fluminense almost scored. It's just because the kick was a weak one. That's why Cucurella was able to clear it out from the goal. Well, we're going to have a final in our hands. I think it's on Sunday. We're going to have a final in our hands on Sunday. Yes, this is, you said it's the first. This is not the first Club World Cup, but this is the first one that has been played like a group stage tournament. Usually the Club World Cup just comes, the European team come and join them in the semi-final and play one team in the semi-final and go and win the final. But now they're playing in the group stage, and you saw a Brazilian team go all the way to the semi-final, a team from Saudi Arabia go all the way to the quarter-final, giving them ample opportunity. It just pained me that the 4 African teams that represent Africa didn't go that far. They all left at the group stage. But that final comes Sunday. See, I will not be surprised if Chelsea fans will be wearing both Chelsea and PSG jersey.
You know, they are both blue jerseys. So.
You know what? You're wearing white now. I've seen somebody who see one jersey one time. Half of the jersey was Arsenal, half was Barcelona, because the two teams are going to play. Maybe that's what they are going to do. One half will be Chelsea,
one half PSG.
PSG. But it's going to be a beautiful final to watch.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for your views. We'll look at this point. We have two blue teams. We have the Blues from London, and we have the Blues from Paris. Let's know who takes the last gold, whether Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain. But before we go to another topic, I want to find out now, Raphael. Comrade Abraham said he's rooting for Chelsea because he's a Chelsea fan, but according to statistics, he stands behind PSG. Let's know whom do you predict to?
What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? Now, see, going by according to, I will not do bad belly, whatever now. So I'm going to do like there's a show I listen to that they will tell you remove your jersey, speak from a neutral point. Even Comrade Soko, even Nemeka gave it to PSG. Everybody is giving it to PSG because of the record. Mind you, this team has played, I think, 6 games now. They're about 6 or how many games now, and they've only conceded 1 goal, and that was the only game they lost. Which means everything is working out for them. That's why I said whatever Maresca needs to do, he's not thinking about it. In fact, if I was Maresca, I'll go and watch Botafogo's game. How Botafogo defeated them. Everybody kept making noise. Arsenal defeated them. Real Madrid, they couldn't defeat PSG. The same Madrid collected their own just yesterday. Inter Milan collected. In fact, they played that final as if it was not a final. How do you defeat somebody 5-0 in a final? And now they are coming with that same spirit because they have that same belief. And they have players who have won the Champions League, who have won the French League, won the French Cup, and you also have inside them players who have won the Nations League with Portugal. So that's winning mentality is already embedded in those players, and they want to go all the way. And by the time they go all the way, they would have won how many trophies this year alone? I think 4.
That's the fourth. That will be the fourth trophy.
Do you understand me? So that spirit is still in them, but they need not to get carried away. They need not to get carried away, because Chelsea has done it before. In 2012, Chelsea did it. In the last Champions League they won, they did it again against Man City. So don't get carried away. Chelsea can surprise you anytime. But for me and my house, we choose PSG.
All right, Kawesoko, Raf is rooting for PSG, and Nemeka also rooted for PSG.
He even to rooted for PSG. I didn't hear him very well.
Do we say you're sitting on the fence?
He doesn't have any fence. They don't break the fence.
You're currently sitting on the fence. You said you are supporting Chelsea because you're a Chelsea fan, but you're also supporting PSG.
No, he said I know PSG is going to finish us.
According to the statistics of the game.
Repeat yourself.
All right. So I want to ask now, Comrade Abraham Soko, if at the end of the final match on the 13th of July, which is Sunday, Chelsea is crowned champions of the first edition of the FIFA Club World Cup, what different do you think Enzo Maresca would have done?
Okay, first off, I think that practice can only take you very far. In as much that somebody said is you go and watch the game against Botafogo and how they were able to emerge the winners in that match. I don't think that Enzo Maresca should think much about it. To just go into the game, make his formation, go into the game and hope for the best. Because as I think Mr. Rafa rightly said, I think the winning mentality is already with the PSG. They already have the confidence. What can be bigger than the Champions League final? Demolishing a team like Inter Milan 5-0. So I don't think that in terms of winning mentality, in terms of any statistic, any data, I don't think that Maresca can actually outmatch the Parisians at this point in time. All I am hoping from that match is just a little bit of God of football, luck, and I think just sheer luck. That's the only way Chelsea is going to emerge from that match, because in terms of the other indices that makes football, everything right lies with the PSG. And you saw how they played against Real Madrid yesterday. Real Madrid is one of the best teams. They have a new coach. You cannot attribute it to Ancelotti anymore. They were completely demolished. So we are talking about my humble Chelsea. So I don't think anybody should pressure us at this point.
It's a lie.
Pretenders have started.
Comrade Soko, Chelsea is not humble. Comrade Soko, Chelsea is not humble.
So just go into that match with our humility. God bless you all.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Soko, for your for being sincere on this aspect of the show. All right, so let's go away a little bit from what have you, the FIFA Club World Cup, and we'll see the slump on Ancelotti being sentenced to 1 year imprisonment for tax fraud committed in 2024. Comparing our society, our immediate society, with that of the whites, what do you think is different? Because we see the case of someone who committed an offense in 2024, and now this is 2025. 2014, I beg your pardon, and this is 2025. That's almost 11 years ago, and it's been brought back, and what have you, the law is beginning to take its action on him. What do you think, compared to us here in our society, somebody who commits an offense and after a change of regime, everything is forgotten? They say your crime has been forgiven because you either change from one party to the other.
No, I don't think that applies for these footballing issues. It's the same everywhere. So there's no, because they are Europeans, no. It's the same thing. What I just see is them finding a way to get money out of him. Of course, if he evaded tax, he's not going to go to any cell. He's not going to go to any prison. Before you know, you hear that they've gone to courts. He has paid XYZ and the matter is gone. So I don't take too much of these informations with seriousness, because at the end of the day, everything would disappear the way it disappears here in Africa and even in Nigeria. After all, Leon faltered and were told that they were going to be relegated. Now, as we speak, they're not going to be relegated. They're not going anywhere again. So what happened? So it's the same everywhere. For 3 years, the FA has been investigating what's it called, Manchester City, over 115 whatever breach of their rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Till date, we've not heard anything. Then people like Everton, Nottingham Forest, and co. They just went investigated one time and they removed their points. It's the same everywhere. Either they're doing it to get money or doing it to get attention or what have you. We've seen even Messi, the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and some big stars, even especially in the Spanish league. It's always in the Spanish league that they come and they tell you, even Dani Alves, Marcelo and co. They tell you they evaded task, this one, that one. At the end of the day, all they want is what? Is money. So it's the same everywhere. There's no difference.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade Abraham Soko, looking at the current state of the transfer window, let's get your review on the transfer, because we see the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Arsenal. Arsenal completed a sign-up just recently. Chelsea also with Joe Pedro, who is also banging goals for them. And what do you have to say about all the transfers that has been ongoing currently now in the transfer window, and which of the transfer is your best so far, according to the statistics you have?
Okay, thank you very, very much. According to the statistic, let me go by the data and the statistic. I think Chelsea have made the best signings so far, because when we signed the lab, I think he got in for 30 million, and immediately he came in, he was able to help us qualify for, I think, the next stage of the FIFA World Club Cup. So I think at that stage, we got an income of, I think, $30 million immediately on that particular stage. And us qualifying to the final right now, we've already gotten 80 million in terms of income. And I think that we got Joao Pedro for, I think, between 50 and 53 million or thereabout. So I've said that Chelsea, in terms of income, in terms of input, I think Chelsea have been able to make the best impact signing so far. Also, you need to remember that we also signed a Guy Kens from Borussia Dortmund. He has not been able to feature so far, but he has been a very, very good signing for Chelsea. And Chelsea have been looking to also upload some of our players that have not been so active. Like, for instance, I saw a bid yesterday by Arsenal Football Club that they are coming for Noni for 50 million. And Chelsea rejected that bid. I don't know who is the director of football in Chelsea Football Club. That guy needs to be flogged, because I personally believe that I don't think that we need more than 30 million for Noni. Arsenal can take him for free, because in terms of performance, he has not really had that output. He can run very well, but when it comes to finish, when it comes to output, he doesn't have it. So I don't think that Chelsea, with the players that are coming so far, Chelsea actually need Noni. So I don't think that we should be holding on so much for him. So and Arsenal has already agreed personal terms, so they should take Mr. Raphael and his likes to carry it. So on so far, I think what I'm happy with is that the controversy, the transfer issues surrounding Victor Osimhen is beginning to be resolved, because he has agreed that he's going to, I think Galatasaray has matched his salary, as I think he has also matched the terms by Napoli, which is 75 million euros. And I think that in the coming days, that will be a signed deal, because I think they are giving him a 5 years contract. And now I'm happy that saga is being concluded at this point in time. I think Manchester United came in recent days, but I think the salary that we are offering did not actually match Siemens' expectations. So far, so good. The transfer window is really, really good. And I'm glad, as I said earlier, Victor Osimhen issue has been resolved. And a lot of players like our own Aina signed a 3-year contract for Nottingham Forest. He performed very, very well for Nottingham Forest last season. So I was not feeling that he was going to get better, greener pastures or move to another club. But I'm glad that he has decided to stick with Nottingham Forest with an improved salary and a long-term contract. So far so good. The transfer window has been really active, and as I said earlier, Arsenal should come and collect some of our players that we don't need. Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's for free of charge. If you want to dash your players to us now.
Make him out the run.
So in a quick moment, Mr. Raphael, I want you also to give us your own review. According to your own club statistics, which of the transfers this season is your best for Arsenal?
I think I can't say for now until they get on the field of play. You know,
Okay.
some players can come recommended, highly recommended, and then when it's time to deliver on the goods, they are nowhere to be found. Someone like Tomiyasu now is being let go by Arsenal. Since he was gotten by Arsenal, I don't think he has played more than 5 games, and that's like us for like 2-3 years thereabouts. Every time, and when it goes for injury, his injuries are always very long. Do you get me? So, but for now, Arsenal has gotten the likes of Zubimendi, Norgard from Brentford, the one that we are thinking that is very close and almost done, and we don't know what is holding it is Gyökeres. We're hoping that
Victor
Gyökeres. We're hoping that he will come with his firepower from Sporting. But you know, the English Premier League is a different ballgame entirely, and he has had a feel of the English League through the Championship, which he didn't deliver until he went to Sporting, and now Arsenal is hoping to get him. But all in all, I think thus far we're still looking to cover up some space because Partey has been, of course, let go. We're still looking at covering the position of the strikers because right now I don't think we'll still be looking at Havertz or Merino to stand in, or Gabriel Jesus. If I were the Arsenal coach right now, Gabriel Jesus would be gone. Do you understand me? But I don't think Arsenal, and we also have Kepa. I don't think those are the positions that we have gotten people for in now, but those are not the positions that we're looking at bolstering. We've been talking about having a striker, at least 2, that can help the team. The team scores goals already, but we need somebody whose job, responsibility is to score a goal. So, but now I don't think Arsenal is really doing well in the market when it comes to that aspect. We're hoping that maybe before the summer window closes, maybe a lot of things will be done and we'll be talking or singing a new song. And as for Madueke, I don't know what the level is right now concerning that business. Komesoko say Moku Kariam, they don't want because he thinks everything is set in stone now. Until then.
But you understand that there is this synergy that some players enjoy in a team and in a different team compared to what they had in their previous team. You're playing in team A now and you're not playing very well, you're not getting your onions very well, but once you switch over to team B, you begin to we have the likes of Mo Salah from Chelsea to Liverpool and what have you.
Not even directly to Liverpool. I think he went to Roma before he came to Liverpool. You have De Bruyne, who also went out, then came to City. We had Lukaku, who went out, then of course. And then we're talking about, we're going too far. Recently, Manchester United let 3 players go out on loan. Rashford was out on loan. Sancho was out on loan. Mason Greenwood was out on loan. In fact, Anthony was out on loan. Those 4 players delivered the goods in the clubs that they played for. They delivered. Now Marcel, for after a very long time, will be coming back to the Champions League. Anthony almost got because they lost the final of the Conference League to Chelsea
yes.
in the final, and I think they also lost the Copa del Rey, if I'm not mistaken, too. I think they won the Copa del Rey. I stand to be corrected. Then you have Sancho, who won the Conference League with Chelsea, and then you had Rashford, who did pretty well with, and not to forget the last but not the least, McTominay, who was let go to Napoli, who was named the Italian Serie A player of the season. So
but when he was in Man U, he wasn't.
Do you understand? You have players who go out and then all of a sudden they become beastly, they become something else entirely. But you still have some people who go out, you think they go and do something elsewhere. Like people like Torres, when he left Liverpool, Torres was a lion. But when he went to Chelsea, he was looking for goal. Like, no, maybe they remove subsidy for goal. the guy was looking for it. So it goes both ways. You just pray that when you get into that team, your style of play and everything works with that team.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Raphael, for all you said within the course of the show, and always finding time to be here on the show every time we call on you. So we say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Raphael.
Thank you very much.
All right. We also want to say thank you to Comrade Abraham Soko for finding time to be on the show with us. Just because within the course of last edition and this edition, I think Comrade Abraham celebrated his birthday, and we want to celebrate you. We want to wish you well.
You better celebrate it on time before that final, because anything can happen in the final. I don't want to hear it's because we lost. I didn't celebrate.
Happy belated birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday,
Comrade Abraham Soko.
Thank you very much.
We thank you for always finding time to be here on the show. We love you. We celebrate you now and always. We also want to sincerely appreciate Nemeka, who was also here on the show. We will say thank you for finding time to be here on the show. And top of the morning, we want to celebrate the general manager of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, Engineer Korede Akintunde. Today is his birthday, and we want to celebrate you, sir. May God grant you all you wish yourself. May your day be filled with joy, with laughter. May your children call you blessed. May you live to see your children's children, and in all, may all your heart desire, according to the will of the Most High, come to fruition. Happy birthday, Engineer Korede Akintunde, and many more happy returns. Viewers, here will want to leave this airwave right now, and we'll come back sometime again. But do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles showing on your screen, and equally follow all our guests on their social media handles. Follow me on Instagram, follow Rafiki on Instagram, follow Soko on Instagram, and all you have, all of us, and most especially follow our director, official God sent Akin on Instagram. Until we come your way again next time, please be the best you can be. Bye bye.